movie last week. I was going to review it next week, which I think that's when the movie comes out. I have so many videos to catch up on and so many movies that I still have to see that I feel like I just wanted to get this video out of the way. Just wanted to do it this week. Get it out of the way so that I don't have to worry about it in the queue of other videos that I have lined up this week and next week. So that's why you're getting this review a little bit earlier than usual. Knives Out is a whodunit crime drama directed by the one and the only
Rian Johnson, the scum of the universe, the spawn of Satan,
destroyer of worlds, the shittiest filmmaker, and the worst Sith Lord in the history of Star Wars.
It says here that his name is Rian Johnson and he's a director. Depending on who you are, two things can be true. Look at the cast for this movie. Holy shit. This cast is basically reverse cowgirl on a gigantic pile of money. Basically money and sex put together. I mean, that's a winning combination in anybody's book. You have Ana de Armas, Lakeith Stanfield, Daniel Craig, Jamie Lee Curtis, Don Johnson, Michael Shannon, Christopher Plummer, Toni Collette, Chris Evans. I mean, the only cast that has a scale like this and the talent involved is probably Dune. By the way, just gonna throw this out there, support Dune in 2020, directed by God with a Camera, Denis Villeneuve. Yep. Just want to throw that out there. This is your standard issue whodunit movie. There's this really wealthy family of a bunch of eccentric individuals. The head of the family, played by Christopher Plummer, is mysteriously killed one night. Police are called in to investigate it, and then Daniel Craig serves as kind of like a consultant for the investigation. And he decides, yeah, there's something foul going on here. You have a mystery whodunit movie where friends and family of Christopher Plummer's character are suspects, and that's basically what the movie is. Funniest thing happened as I was watching this movie. I was in the theater, and then Rian Johnson came on screen, and he wanted to thank everybody for showing up to the screening and supporting the movie. I was sitting next to two people and their reactions told me everything. One person was like, ugh, and then the other person was like, awesome. That sums up Rian Johnson in a nutshell. I would probably say that because of that Star Wars movie, almost anybody that talks about Rian Johnson in the future is going to have some kind of love-hate relationship with him. But in general, if you look at this guy's filmography, the one thing that you can't say is that he doesn't make a good-looking movie, and this is definitely a good-looking movie. Excellent cinematography, excellent lighting in this movie. Love the production design of the big Clue mystery house that most of this movie takes place in. If you're gonna have a good whodunit mystery and you're gonna have it involving a bunch of rich people, then it makes sense to have it in a house that looks like this. Luckily, this movie is self-aware. There is a Clue joke thrown in here, so it has that going for it. It's not enough to just assemble a great cast in a whodunit movie. You also have to give that cast enough to work with. You don't necessarily need to flesh out every character, but you at least need to make them interesting people so that I feel somewhat invested in the mystery at hand. I'd probably say for the first hour of this movie, that's exactly what I got. I got interesting characters. I got complex human beings. All of these characters are extremely complicated. You find out within the first 10 minutes that you probably shouldn't trust any of them, the distinct personalities that they have. It just makes the mystery aspect of this movie that much more fun. I'd probably say the three standouts for me are Ana de Armas. She's in quite a bit of this movie. In fact, a lot of the movie is from her perspective. She was great in Blade Runner 2049. I'm glad to see that she was really good in this movie too, but the other two standouts for me are Chris Evans and Daniel Craig. Now, if Avengers Endgame was Chris Evans being America's ass, this movie is Chris Evans being America's asshole. Because that's what he is. He's the perfect asshole in this movie. He is such an insufferable little shit. And I absolutely loved him for it. But the other big standout to me was Daniel Craig. He's doing this weird thing with his accent that at first I was just like, this is awful. Then the more I heard it in the movie, the more I was just kind of like, you know what? I like this accent. Maybe it is awful, or maybe it's just so bad that it's good, but I want Daniel Craig to speak like this in the rest of his movies from now on. Just change his accent for the James Bond movie that's coming out next year. I want Daniel Craig to speak in this foghorn leghorn type accent. Definitely within the first hour of the movie has enough twists and turns to keep you guessing, and I would actually say that for most of the movie, even into the third act, good whodunit movie is supposed to have enough twists and turns and a bunch of unsuspecting things that maybe you should have paid attention to earlier in the movie and then just capitalizing on it for this twist. The movie has enough of that I feel like most people are going to be satisfied. The movie is clever in terms of its writing, in regards to its humor. Overall, it has all the recipe to be a really good whodunit movie. So, what went wrong for me? The reason why I can't fully embrace this movie is because of the way that Rian Johnson decided to structure the story that he's telling here. The first hour of the movie, I'm invested and I'm interested, but then the story makes a decision where it kind of pulls the rug out from under your feet, or it pulls the wool out of your eyes and it kind of shows you behind the curtain and it shows you something that reveals something, and then I was just kind of like, oh. And even though there are still some twists and turns the rest of the movie, I felt like this reveal kind of took the wind out of the sails for this movie. Scene by scene, I just felt the tension evaporating from the movie, and even though there's still some mysterious stuff going on, like the reveals that they had were nice, but I was just kind of like, this is not as interesting as the movie that they were teasing beforehand. The movie got kind of boring for me, and I'll also say this as somebody who's not really into politics on this channel. I don't do politics, I stay out of that, but I also don't mind politics being put in a movie if it's for a good reason. Some of the politics in this movie are a little bit heavy-handed, and my problem with it is that it doesn't really add anything to the characters or the story. It just feels like it was kind of forced in there to fit Rian Johnson's narrative, and again, I'm not really, I mean, sure, do politics all you want. I wish there was a more subtle and clever way that they had written the politics into the story on this one, and instead, it just comes off as a little bit forced. I'd say this is a solid crime drama, solid whodunit, but I've definitely seen better over the years. I think the structure with the story is my biggest issue with it. Knives Out was a pretty decent, solid watch at the movies, and I'm gonna put this one in the golden age for Man of Steel. Guys, it is a pretty solid movie. I would recommend that you check it out, especially if you're into whodunit mysteries and stuff like that. Stay tuned, I got a bunch of videos coming out in the next few days, including videos that should have been done last week, but they're being done this week because, you know, schedule. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.